So again, I'm Dawn Flood and I'm with Student Leadership Services, and today is the SLS show episode 16. On Tuesdays we have a show. And so today we're going to talk about peer pressure, what is it, and how to say no but still keep your friends. So really important today. So let's see who we have with us on the workshop. Let's start with Colin. So Colin, go ahead and say your name and what school you go to.
I'm Colin, I go to Deckerville.
All right. And then Keegan.
Hi, I'm Keegan. I go to Deckerville as well.
Awesome. Glad to have you both. All right, Natalie.
I'm Natalie, and I'm going to be a sophomore at Walled Lake Northern.
Awesome. Glad to have you back, Natalie. And Alexandria. Alexandria's new.
My name is Alexandria McLean, and I go to Carleton High School.
Excellent. Glad to have you, Alex. Faith.
Hi, I'm Faith. I go to Charlotte High.
Excellent. And Lila.
Hi, I'm Lila, and I go to Pinta Middle School.
Excellent. Glad to have you both. All right. Loretta.
Hi, I'm Loretta. I'm a junior at Taylor High School.
Excellent. Glad to have you. Haley.
Hi, I'm Haley. I'll be a junior at Walled Lake Northern High School.
Awesome. Glad you're here. And Kaylin.
Hi, I'm Kaylin. I go to Pierce Middle School.
Awesome. Okay, great. All right, so I'm so glad to see everybody today. All right, so let's get this show on the road. All right, so does everybody have their coin with them? Okay, all right. So this is what we're gonna do, okay? First of all, raise your right hand. Raise your left hand. Okay, so I wanna make sure everybody knows their right from their left, or this activity is gonna be a little crazy, all right? So hopefully you raised the right hands when I said that. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. This is gonna be an activity that is going to kind of demonstrate multitasking, okay? And it also might provide us with a little frustration, okay? But there's a reason we'll do it. We're doing it, and we'll talk about why we did it at the end. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read a story about life with the Wright family. Every time you hear the word right, you're gonna put the coin in your right hand. Every time you hear the word left, you're gonna put the coin in your left hand, okay? Now, the story goes pretty fast. I want everybody to start off with the coin in their right hand, okay? At the end of the story, the goal is that the coin ends up in the exact hand you started with. So let's see how we do, all right? Thumbs up if you got my directions. All right, here we go. Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, cool, here we go. All right. One day, the Wright family decided to take a vacation. The first thing they had to decide was who would be left at home, since there wasn't enough room in the Wright family car. Mr. Wright decided that Aunt Linda Wright would be the one left at home. Of course, this made Aunt Linda Wright so mad that she left the house immediately yelling, "It'll be a right cold day before I return." The Wright family bundled up the children, Tommy Wright, Susan Wright, Timmy Wright, and Shelley Wright, and they all got in the car and they left. Unfortunately, as they turned out the driveway, someone left the trash can in the middle of the road. So they had to turn right around and stop the car. They told Tommy Wright to get out of the car and move the trash can so they could get going. Tommy took so long that they almost left him in the street. Once the Wright family got on the road, Mother Wright wondered if she had left the stove on. Father Wright told her not to worry. He had checked the stove and she had not left it on. As they turned right at the corner, everyone started to think about other things that they might have left undone. No need to worry now. They're off on a right fine vacation. When they arrived at the gas station, Father Wright put the gas in the car, and then he discovered that he had left his wallet at home. So Timmy Wright ran all the way home to get the wallet that was left behind. This, of course, got Mother Wright very upset. She started thinking, well, geez, maybe we shouldn't go on a right fine vacation. So she said, forget it. And everybody got back in the car and they left. So they started on their way home. They turned right in the driveway, got out of the car, and turned left. Raise your hand if your coin is in your left hand. Okay. Raise your hand if it's in the right hand. All right. So normally when I do this activity, everybody would be in a circle if we were face to face, and you would have to pass it right and left. So someone tell me, what was difficult about this story of the left and the right? What was difficult? Natalie.
Concentrate.
Oh, sorry, Natalie.
You had to listen for the words in like places that you wouldn't expect, I guess.
Okay, listen for the words in the place you wouldn't expect. Okay. All right, Alex, what were you gonna say?
Oh, that's basically what I was gonna say.
Any other time did you get frustrated when it kept going right to left, right to left? Loretta? Okay, all right, Loretta, why did you get frustrated?
Because it like kept going back and forth. And then like when they said right family, so it'd be like I have to remember which way I was going.
Okay, so you had to remember which way you were going. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right. So how would this activity been different if we were physically together and doing the activity in a circle where you had to pass your penny to the person left or right? How would the activity have been different? Because that's how we're supposed to do it. How would it be different? Anybody?
You have to concentrate more.
Okay.
And all in agreement, because you might not know, like your left from someone else's left is completely different.
Exactly. So it probably would have been a little chaotic. Would you agree, Loretta?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So doing this activity, do you think it would put a lot of pressure on you to make sure that you end up with a penny in the right hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I want to talk about today. Okay. So it's kind of a good segue into pressure. Okay. So let's talk about pressure. Raise your hand if you're feeling pressure right now because school is starting. Everybody, right? Okay. All right. So let's talk about peer pressure. Okay. So the first question I want to ask you is, what is a peer? Silly question, right? What's a peer?
Someone in your age range.
All right. Age range. Perfect. What else is a peer?
Like a person you're around a lot, like in a school setting. Or...
Okay. Yep. So we're around them a lot. Age range. Haley?
Like a friend.
Friend. Okay. Faith, Lila?
Someone that you know.
Okay. So just someone you know. You don't necessarily have to be BFFs with them, do you? No. Someone you know. Okay. So we pretty much know what a peer is. Okay. Now tell me, what is pressure? When someone says pressure, what pops in your mind?
Force.
Force. Good word, Alex. Okay. What else pops in your mind? Pressure. Haley.
Judgment.
Oh, good word, girl. Okay. Judgment. All right. What else? That it? So force, judgment. Okay. All right. So if we were to put the two words together, peer and pressure, you end up with peer pressure. So what's that mean? What's peer pressure mean?
A person who is forcing you to do something or judging you because you don't want to do something.
Okay. So a person forcing you or judging you because you don't want to do something. Okay. All right. Exactly. Has anybody, okay, in this workshop ever been in a situation where someone asked you to do something you didn't want to do? Anybody? I have. I'll raise my hand. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you didn't want to do it. All right. Did you end up saying yes, even though you wanted to tell them no? Anybody?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. All right. So yeah, sometimes. And it could be simple as they were pressuring you to go to the mall instead of studying. Okay. You didn't really want to, and you wanted to say no, but somehow the words come out of your mouth, sure, I'll go. All right. So how did you feel when you gave into that pressure? You didn't really want to do it, but you did it anyway. How'd you feel? No matter what it was.
Annoyed.
Annoyed, good word. Okay, Faith?
You felt like you shouldn't probably be doing it.
Okay, yeah, you get this weird feeling like, oh, geez, I really shouldn't be doing this. Okay, Haley?
Almost like weak in the sense.
Weak. Okay, so you got this feeling inside that it didn't feel right. Okay, so if you didn't want to do it, but you said yes, someone tell me, why did you say yes? If your first answer that came was like, no, I don't want to do that, why'd you give in?
Because I felt like I didn't have a choice.
Didn't have a choice. Okay, why else did we give in?
You feel guilty.
Guilt. Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay, we feel guilty. Anybody else? Why would you give in?
Like, because you feel obligated to.
Okay, so obligation, guilt. Has anybody ever gave in just so they'd leave you alone?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Yeah, fine, I'll do it. Just leave me alone, right? Okay, we've all been there. All right, I'll raise my hand, me included. Okay, all right. So we know that pressure doesn't feel so good, okay? That it doesn't feel good when we give into something that we don't want to do, but we do it anyway. All right, so pressure, is pressure always bad?
No.
No.
No, right? Okay. Give me an example of a good pressure that comes from a peer.
Like doing your work, or like if you're working on a project and you're not doing it and they like tell you that you need to do it.
Okay, so pressuring you to get a task done, especially if it's a group project. Good. All right, Haley?
Kind of like if I hear like a friend studying like a whole bunch and I'm like, oh, I haven't studied that much. And then they're like, well, you really have to, like, this is the hardest test of the year or something. Then they're kind of pressuring me, but it's good because they're making me study.
Okay, so positive, good peer pressure to get good grades, study, do what you're supposed to. Perfect. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, there's bad pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me an example of bad pressure.
Your friend could pressure you to sneak out of the house when you're not supposed to.
Okay, that's a good example. Yep. Your friend says, come on, just sneak out. Your parents won't know. They go to bed at 9 o'clock. Okay, that's a pressure. That's a legitimate one. All right. What's another pressure that comes to your mind that you might be pressured to do? That's not a good idea.
Like going to a party or something. Like if
Okay.
you're going out and you're supposed to be out back at a certain time, but they want you to go back to a party because you're already out, and so they just feel like you can do it because you're already out there, so there's no need to ask for permission, even though you didn't have permission to be going to that place or to that party.
Okay, so a couple things there. So kind of breaking curfew sounds like, right? Of when you're supposed to be home, and then going someplace that you weren't given permission to go. All right, Lila?
Like drinking alcohol, like
Okay.
in general.
Yep, drinking alcohol. Okay, all right, so good. So we have some ones that are kind of in our mind. All right, so does everybody have a paper plate? Everybody got a paper plate? All right, cool. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to write the word pressure plate on the top of your plate. Pressure plate. This is your pressure plate. Go ahead and write those two words on it. All right, so once you got it, now I want you to do is I want you to fill in this pressure plate. I want you to think about all the things that you have been pressured to do that perhaps you didn't want to do, you didn't feel comfortable doing, wasn't a good idea. And it could be pressure not only from peers, but sometimes we get pressure from our siblings, our cousins, our parents, that pressure us to do things that maybe we're not comfortable doing. Okay, so go ahead and I'll give you about 2 minutes and fill in as much as you can on your pressure plate. Can I get some volunteers to share something that they wrote on their pressure plate?
Letting someone copy off my homework.
Okay, all right. So copying homework. Yep. That's a good one, Alex. Thanks. All right. What's more? What were you gonna say, Loretta?
Oh, skipping class.
Oh, skipping class. Yep. All right. Okay. All right, Kaylin, what's something you wrote on your plate? Oh, I'll mute you.
Go out.
Go out. Okay. All right. Haley, what's something you put on your plate?
Did you say me?
Yeah.
I put like lying to my parents, even if it was like a really tiny thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So lying to parents. Pressure to lie. Oh, don't tell them. They don't need to know, right? Okay. All been there. All right. Let's see, Natalie, what'd you put on your plate?
Oh, mine was like the first one that was said, the homework one.
Okay. So having somebody copy from you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Colin or Keegan, what'd you put on your plate? What's something you put on your plate?
Friends that want you to do just generally dumb stuff.
Yeah, right? Yeah, dumb stuff. Either stuff that'll get you hurt or stuff that's just dumb, right? Okay, why waste your time on it? All right. Anybody else have something different? Faith, Lila, what did you put on your plate?
We put like watching a type of movie or show that we don't want to watch or we can't watch.
Oh, good one. Yes. All right. So, yeah, that's a good one. Lila, did you have a different one?
No, not really.
Okay. All right.
No. Okay.
No?
She put staying up late, like they force you to stay up late.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So staying up late. Yes. Okay. All right. So these are, would you agree that what everybody said is pretty normal pressure? Everybody agree with that? It's pretty normal pressure? Okay. So pretty normal. Everyone faces it. Okay. All right. What are some bigger pressures that might weigh a little heavier on you that someone might pressure you to do? Haley?
Like change friend groups or like drop a friend.
Yeah. So change friend groups, drop a friend. Yep. That's really heavy. Yeah. Drop friends. Okay. Again, pretty common. Okay. But a little more heavy pressure. Okay. What's another pressure that's common among middle school and high school students that would be pretty heavy?
Like trying to drink alcohol.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So drinking alcohol. Is there another one? Kaylin?
Not really in like middle school and everything like that, but drugs.
Drugs. Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, those are pretty heavy. Okay. Those are pretty heavy. All right. So so let's kind of do a little kind of judgment here. Okay. All right. So if you were to always skip class, how would that impact your future?
You're not gonna get good grades, and then you might fail.
Okay. Not going to get good grades. So if I'm always pressured to skip class and I give in, I'm not going to get good grades. All right. Natalie?
That's something similar to that you wouldn't know the stuff you need to know for like the next year.
Okay. Wouldn't know the stuff I need to know for next year. All right. Faith, Lila?
Fail your classes.
Fail your classes. All right. Okay. All right. Let's do lying to parents. Okay. So let's say our friends always pressure us to just tell those lies to your parents. They don't need to know. Tell them you're going one place. If we keep doing that and we give in, How's that going to impact us?
Your parents aren't going to trust you.
Loss of trust. Yep. Any other impact? Haley?
I was just gonna add on that. Like I was just gonna say, like trust.
Trust. Yeah, that's huge, right? That's huge. Okay. All right. Let's try change of friends or drop your friends. So if you're always pressured to drop friends and change your friends group, how that's going to impact you?
No one's going to want to be friends with you.
No one's going to be friends with you. Natalie?
I was gonna say no one's gonna see you as a loyal friend.
Ah, okay. So if they don't see you loyal, are they going to trust you?
No.
No. So we're going back to that kind of that trust word. All right, Faith?
Or like maybe it could be like a good impact. Maybe like if you drop friends, then you could like have like more like better friends that actually like are your friends.
Okay, so Lila put a spin on it. I love that. Okay, yes. All right. So again, sometimes there can be a positive spin and something good comes out of it. All right. Last one. Okay. So what happens if you give in every time somebody pressures you to drink alcohol, do drugs, vape, or any of that stuff? How's it gonna impact you? Kaylin?
They're gonna keep on doing it.
Gonna keep on doing it. Okay. And so you're gonna become addicted to those drugs. Okay. All right. So some of these things that we put on our plate start off perhaps a little innocent, but the more it happens, okay, the more it's going to impact us. All right. Why do you think I called this your pressure plate? What's the symbol of a plate when it comes to pressure? Any idea?
Or crack or if you put enough pressure on a plate, it can, break or crack.
Yes. Okay. What were we going to say, Lila?
I was gonna say like if you put like let's say like plates are made for food to put on food. If you have put too much food, it's just like pressure. You have too much pressure, but if you put a little bit amount, that means you have a little bit of pressure on it.
Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. Yes, absolutely. But also back to Alex's point, too much pressure, okay, it's going to crack. It's going to break the plate. All right. Good. So good intro. All right. So now what I want us to do is I'm going to break us up into Zoom rooms, okay, and I'm going to break up into three, okay, 3 rooms. So there'll be 3 people in a room, and each group is going to get a topic, and what I want your groups to do is make a list, so decide who's going to be the writer, the recorder, and then decide who's going to be your spokesperson, and make a list of all the pressures that a person might face in middle school and high school for that topic. Right. So one of the topics may be pressure you get from sports. So you'd make a list of all the pressure that you would get from sports. Okay. Thumbs up if you understand. Perfect. Off we got. So let's start with family. The pressure that we get from our family. And so that was Faith, Lila, and Alex. So who's the talker in that group?
I am.
All right, Alex. What do you have on your list? Pressure from family.
Grades.
Okay.
Behavior.
Yep.
The way that you dress, so like attire.
Yep.
To make more friends.
Oh, okay.
To like certain things.
Okay.
Be more like your siblings.
Oh, yeah.
Be more involved in different activities.
Okay.
To get a job.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And get into certain colleges.
All right. Okay. So looking at that list that your group created, Alex, which do you think would be like the biggest pressure? The one that weighs the heaviest? What would you say?
I think to be more like your siblings, because everybody is really different, and having and constantly being compared can really damage how someone looks at themselves.
Okay. All right. So like siblings. All right. Faith and Lila, would you agree with that? Or would you have a different one?
I have a different one. I think it's great because
Great.
families are really hard on grades. They want you to get a certain grade point average or A's and B's. They don't want you to fail. So
Okay. All right. So grades and siblings. Okay. All right. What about yourself? Again, yourself is tough. So that was Colin, Keegan, and Loretta. All right, so who's the spokesperson?
So we had doing good in school, so like getting good grades.
Okay, cool,
Then
great.
we had succeeding at sports, so either being the best or achieving the most.
Okay,
Making your family or just people in general around you proud. So,
oh, yeah. Okay,
also, like in school, having a lot of friends or keeping certain friends.
okay. Having a lot, keeping certain, okay.
So, trying to be healthy, like eating healthy foods or having your body a certain way.
Okay,
And also, like making everything okay. So, like, kind of just always wanting everything to be okay, like not acknowledging that there are any problems in your life.
okay. Wanting everything to be okay. All right, so looking at that list, Loretta, oh, were you done?
Yeah, that was
Okay. All right, looking at your list, Loretta, which one do you think is like the heaviest pressure that somebody puts on themselves?
It's like I feel like it's a mix between like making people proud and doing like good in school. Like those are two really big things.
Two big things, okay? All right, what about you, Colin and Keegan? Which of those on your group's list is the really heaviest?
I'd have to say school, probably.
Yeah, school.
School, okay. All right, so all three of you said school, okay. All right, and now media. And again, media is huge. We can't get away from it these days, can we? Media, yes. Okay. So that was Haley, Kaylin, and Natalie. All right, so who's the spokesperson?
I am.
All right.
So we had a few. We noticed that a lot of like big ones fell into big categories.
Okay.
But we have like dress and act a certain way.
Okay.
Like body image, so like to be super thin and fit. Yeah. And like also to be perfect, so to say.
Okay.
Yeah. Religious or political beliefs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
To like how you think of yourself.
Okay.
of.
Yep.
How much money you have.
Oh, that one's good. I don't know if anybody said that one before. Money. Good.
Normalize, like how much media normalizes drugs and alcohol.
Yep, normalizes it. Okay.
Pressure to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And then just like all types of bullying.
Bullying. Okay, gotcha. All right, so looking at that list, Haley, which is the heaviest, you would say?
I would say to be perfect, because like they all kind of fit in that.
To be perfect. All right. Kaylin's your hands up. What would you say is the heaviest?
No, that's not. No. I was just gonna say that I was gonna add something to that because Haley didn't want to say it.
What?
You didn't want to say this one.
Oh, go ahead.
Sending pictures back and forth to each other.
Yes. Yep. All right. Yep, some pictures. Sent. Yep. Okay. Yeah, the media puts a lot of pressure on that. Yep, absolutely. All right. So we talked about three kind of big categories of the pressures that we face from our family, yourself, and media. Okay. And now what I want to get into is we're going to have pressure from our friends, right? And you name some of the pressure already on your pressure plate that you get from friends. They may ask you to skip class, copy your homework, drink alcohol, vape, do drugs, sneak out. If you drive, they may pressure you to not wear your seatbelt, to go over the speed limit, things like that. All right, so a lot of pressure comes from our friends. Now, what if I told you that there was a way for you to get out of an uncomfortable situation So if someone pressures you to do something you don't want to do because you know it's not a good choice for you, there's a way to get out of it, but still keep your friends. Does that sound like a good solution? Yeah, because your friends are important to you. I know that, right? Okay. And it's not that you don't like your friend. It's perhaps you don't want to do what they're asking you to do. So you still want to keep that friendship, but keep yourself safe. Okay. So there's something called a recipe when it comes to saying no. First of all, what's a recipe? Kind of a silly question, but I think we know what a recipe is. What's a recipe? Natalie, what?
A step-by-step guide that shows you how to like make something.
Exactly. Step-by-step guide shows you how to make something, okay? And if you follow the directions and you do everything it tells you, hopefully at the end you taste something that tastes good, right? Okay. If you skip something, then 10 to 1, it's not going to taste very good. There's a reason those things are in the recipe. Has anybody ever made a bad recipe? Yeah. Okay. So when they say put in the chocolate chips, there's a reason they tell you to put in the chocolate chips. Otherwise, you got a bland cookie with no chocolate chips. All right. So same thing that comes to when saying no, but still keeping your friends. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share screen for a second. And all right. Can everybody kind of see this? Everybody see my screen? All right, cool. All right. So this right here is the 5 ingredients, you could call it, into the how to say no, but still keep your friends recipe, okay? They are not in order. What I want you to try to do is you kind of look at them. I want you to see if you can put them in order. What would be the first thing you would say or do if someone asked you to do something that you didn't want to do, all the way to the last? So go ahead and take a minute and see if you can put them in the right order. All right, so if someone says, hey, you want to come over to my house this weekend? My brother's home from college, my parents aren't home, and we're going to have a party. According to this ingredient recipe, what would be the first thing that you would say or do to get out of it? Natalie.
I said what will be going on there.
Okay, and why do you think that's the first one?
Just so you know you're not like misunderstanding the situation and that like you actually like you know what's going on.
Okay, all right. Raise your hand if you agree with Natalie. All right, you all are correct. Yes, that is number 1 in the recipe, okay? That's where you ask questions. What's going on? Who's coming over? Do your parents know that there's going to be a party? So you're gathering as much information as you can, okay? So why do you think you ask questions?
So you have a better idea of what you're agreeing to or disagreeing with.
Yep, exactly. So you have a better idea what you're agreeing to. Okay, Natalie?
Just gonna say so you don't assume things that aren't true.
Okay. you broke up a little bit, but I think I got it. All right, so you want to ask as much questions you can to get more information, okay? So then they tell you a little more. Well, my brother's going to have some cute college friends there. We're just going to hang out, play video games. You know, there might be beer there, but, you know, it's all right. My parents don't care. They let us do what we want. So you're getting more information from them by asking questions. So what would be the second ingredient in our recipe here? Alex?
It sounds like.
Okay, and what do you mean by it sounds like?
Because you're kind of mirroring what they said just so that you have a good understanding.
Yes, okay, all right. So it sounds like, and again, you're clarifying, it sounds like your parents really don't know that you're having people over. And it sounds like there's going to be alcohol there, which I shouldn't be drinking because I'm underage, okay? So it sounds like, all right? So raise your hand if you had that one for number 2. All right, yep, that's number 2. All right, so you're clarifying what you heard. All right, what's number 3 in my recipe? Keegan?
If I do that, then
Okay, and what's this one about, bud?
like you're saying, like if I do that, then I might not be able to, or I might not want to do something else, or it's not good for me.
Okay, all right, all right. So raise your hand if you agree with Keegan. Okay, all right. Yep, that is number 3. And your if I do that, that is your consequence. That's kind of that little voice in your head, okay, that we call a conscience. That's when that kicks in. Well, if I do that and I come over and my parents find out, I'm going to be grounded till I'm 30. Or I'm not going to be able to go to that concert I just bought tickets for, okay? So this is that consequence part. What will happen if you give in to that pressure and do what they ask, all right? So you think about it. What's the 4th step in my recipe? There's only 2 left, so all right, Faith.
I think it is, I'm going to do this instead.
All right, so tell me about that. What does that mean to you?
That you would be telling them, I'm going to do this instead of like going to a party or trying to be at their house to do the wrong things.
Okay, all right.
So you're telling them that you're going to do something more like not inappropriate or that you don't want to do.
Okay, all right. Haley, what were we gonna say?
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. I'm going to do this instead because the same reason as Faith, and then also like kind of process of elimination with like the 5th one. It's like, this is like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Yeah, whatever. And then like the 5th one would be, I'll see you later. If you'd like to join me, that's like final. Like I'm walking away from the conversation.
Awesome. Okay, all right. Natalie, what were you gonna add?
That you could like tell them what you said, so they don't think that you're just blowing them off.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So they're all right. So your number 4 in the recipe is where you make your decision. I'm going to do this instead. You know what? I'm going to go to the movies and see the new movie. Okay. But then we didn't stop there, did we? We had a 5th and a final, and that's the I'll see you later. If you'd like to join me, I'll be. So tell me, why is number 5 there? Why didn't we just stop at 4? Colin?
Well, you said it was their their college brother's party, so it's giving them a way out if they don't want to do it and they were being pressured in.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, right on. You get an A for the day. Yes. So number 5 is extremely important because it lets Jim and John know that, hey, you still want to hang out, you just don't want to do what they're asking you to do. And if they want to make a better choice or a different decision, then they can come with you. But Colin said it exactly. You've given them an option to make a better decisions, okay? So that's perfect. So those right there, okay? And I'll show you what they look like in order, so it makes more sense to you. So that's what it's like in order. You start with questions, what will be going on there, gather as much information as you can. It sounds like you repeat back to them, you clarify what you heard, and then you have your consequence part. If I do that, then this is where your thought process. If I do that and mom finds out, I'm dead. Then you make your decision, I'm gonna do this instead. And then you invite them to come with you, okay? So those are the 5 steps that will get you out of an uncomfortable situation, but still help you keep your friends. Which of those do you think is the most important step? Natalie?
Maybe I'm going to do this instead, because that's you like deciding it's not a situation you need to be in, and
Yep.
you're gonna do something else.
Okay, all right, yes. All right, excellent. All right, so let's try this out. All right, we gotta practice these, right? Okay, so who wants to be in the hot seat? I'm gonna pressure somebody to do something, and using these 5 steps, I want you to get out of the situation, but still keep our friendship. So who wants to be in the hot seat with me? Oh, come on. Nobody? Oh, all right, Kaylin, thanks. Don't leave me hanging, girl. All right, here we go, Kaylin. All right. Hey, Kaylin, let's go to the mall. You know, Claire's, they just reopened. I'm so excited, and there's no video camera, so we basically can take what we want. So why don't you come with me?
Sorry, I can't think fast.
So what would be the first thing?
Well, you already answered my question.
Okay, so what else do you want to ask me?
If I do that, then we might get caught.
Oh, come on, nobody will know. I'll bring my big purse and put stuff in it. What are you gonna do instead?
I'm actually going to do, I'm sorry, 1 second. I'm bad at this. Oh, I'm actually going to go see a movie tonight, so I don't really think I'm going to be able to make it.
Okay, keep going.
Oh.
Do number 5.
But if you want to, let's see. Oh, but I'll see you later, and if you want to go to the movies with me, I can always make arrangements.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right, okay, all right. So that was a little hard one because I did give you a lot of information, so it didn't set you up to use 1 and 2. So you jumped right to the consequence if I do that then. All right, now who wants to try? Yeah, practice. Come on. All right, Keegan. All right, go try it, Keegan. All right, here we go. Okay. All right. Hey, Keegan, I didn't study for my science test. You know, will you let me copy your paper?
Well, if I do that, then that would technically it would get both of us in trouble for cheating.
No, nobody will know. I'll change a few words or so.
No, still doesn't sound like a good idea. I think you should just study on your own.
Well, I didn't though, so come on, will you help me out? You always do better in science than I do.
I can hand you a few things to help you out, and you can read over the science books again.
Good. Okay. All right. Perfect. Excellent. That was good. And that's a tough one. Okay. All right. Okay. So Natalie, your hand was up. All right. You ready? Okay. Here we go, Natalie.
Ready.
Hey, Natalie. You know, I found this vape. It's brand new. Somebody must have dropped it. You want to try it?
Where did you find it?
Where'd I find it? Just on the ground. But it's still in the wrapper and everything.
It sounds like you're getting into illegal stuff.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. This seems like everybody's doing it.
If I do that, then I could get in trouble with the police.
Well, who's gonna know? We'll go behind like the building, and we'll sneak it. I'll be on the lookout.
I'm good. I think I'm gonna go home and work on my math homework.
Oh, come on.
I'll see you later. If you'd like to join me, I'll be at the library studying.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Very good. All right. So kind of natural. Oh, Haley. Okay, ready, Haley? Okay, Haley. Ready? Here we go. All right. So Haley, I just got my driver's license. I am so excited. You know, let's hit the road. Let's go on I-75 and go as fast as we can, and let's really test these tires.
How fast will we be going?
I don't know. That speedometer says 120.
Well, that kind of sounds like you're like breaking the law by not following the speed limit.
But that's only if you get caught. So you be on the lookout, I'll be the driver.
But if I do that, then my parents are gonna find out and I'm not gonna get my driver's license on time.
Yeah, but you only live once, come on.
You know what, I'm gonna go to the mall instead.
You know what you're missing?
I know, what?
It's freedom.
I know, whatever. I'll see you later. If you'd like to join me, I'm going to go to the mall at 2 o'clock.
All right, beautiful. Good job. Okay. All right, good job. Was that pretty natural to you, Haley? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It flowed for you. All right. It flowed for you. All right. Who else wants to give it a whirl? Come on. All right, Faith.
Okay.
All right. Okay, I gotta think of a good one for Faith here. Hey Faith, how'd you do on that science test today? Did you do pretty good? Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. I think I did too. And I want to celebrate. I took one of my dad's beers. You want to try it with me?
No. Wait. If I do that, then my dad will find out.
You won't know. I have a gum that you can chew. Come on, we both did good on our test. Let's celebrate.
No, I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to just stay home instead and not have you come over.
Okay, all right, good, excellent, very good. All right, anybody else? Alex, Colin, Loretta?
I'll go.
Alex? All right, let's see. One for Alex. Oh, okay, all right. Hey, Alex, meet me at like 5 o'clock. No, meet me at like 9 o'clock. That's when it gets kind of dark, okay? At Miss Smith's car. She has a brand new car, and I got some spray paint. I want to make some noise and send a message. So will you meet me there at 9?
It sounds like you're going to be vandalizing somebody's car, and if I do that, then we could get caught and get arrested.
Well, nobody will know. I'm going to have Natalie come, and Natalie's going to be on the spy lookout, and then she's going to make like this foghorn noise if anybody's coming, so that you and I can hurry up and get away from the car. So me and Natalie, we got it all worked out. What do you say?
I think I'm going to FaceTime with some friends tonight, but I'll see you later if you'd like to join me, maybe over the phone.
Okay, very good. All right, excellent. Very good. All right, so you see how all those steps worked with all those different type of scenarios?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was, drugs, or whether it was speeding, whether it was stealing, copying, vandalism, breaking the law, okay? So these 5 steps, they really, really work, okay? And so I will send these steps to you so that you can kind of put them in your little brain, so that when next time you are in a situation where somebody asks you to do something that you know is not a good choice for you, that you'll remember these and they'll just roll right off your tongue, and you can get out of that situation, but still keep your friendship. All right.